What is going on? We are black and back in this bitch again. Did Jesus come back? I know he came back. God damn. God damn, niggas was speaking in tongue and that bullshit. Man, what is going on? What is going on? I'm your boy, Warren G. You already know what the fuck it is. Shout out to everybody that's out there. This is No I Don't Know, because I don't claim to know shit. Shout out to all the other motherfuckers that's out there in the hot ass sun, because like I said before, it is hot than a motherfucker outside. Like I said, it's hotter than Satan's armpits in this bitch. I'm telling you, it's so hot. Nigga wanna just jump in the water and just run outside with no clothes on. Hey, shout out to everybody that's out there handling business, doing what they need to do. I know it's not easy working on the fucking corporate plantation on the weekend. Like I said, I always say, I can't stand when a motherfucker be like, man, why you work so many jobs? Nigga, cause I'm broke. Shout out to them. Shout out to the niggas that sitting around the house all day, ain't got shit going on. We need those type of people in our life, I guess. That balances out the equation or the matrix or whatever you want to call it. So shout out to them. Hey, shout out to Nuke too. I just spoke to Nuke. Nuke got her business going. Hopefully I can get her back on the podcast real soon. She's super busy and her mom is doing better. So shout out to her. And shout out to everybody else that's out there handling business, like I said, and trying to make it do what it do. Shout out to niggas that, for some sort of reason, don't think that racism and white supremacy exists. And then one more motherfucker on Twitter talking about, well, the Egyptians, they were a mixed race. No, nigga, they was black. Stop. Stop with the bullshit. God damn, well, the ancient Greeks, we'll read this book. Well, did you read it? How you gonna refer a book to somebody that you didn't read? So shout out to these motherfuckers that's on social media trying to educate you, but they ain't even read the book. So shout out to them motherfuckers too. God damn. These hotep motherfuckers that done watch 1,000 YouTube videos and think they know something, but ain't read their book. So shout out to them. And shout out to everybody that's out there right now shopping, doing what you need to do, because the food shortage is definitely coming. And shout out to everybody that got enough shit paper. If I was you, I would eat wisely. And if you ain't got no toilet tissue, you could just shit and then jump in the shower. If you ain't got no motherfucking toilet tissue, so shout out to them. Shout out to niggas that's fucking bitches just so they can get toilet tissue. God damn, that's fucked up. Shout out to them as well. Shout out to everybody that's handling business the right way. Being honorable in business and not just trying to finesse their way to wherever the fuck they need to be. I can't stand that shit. So shout out to y'all. And we appreciate y'all. And shout out to all the other motherfuckers that's out there that's pretend like they not a finesser, but they the biggest finesser in captivity. Hey, what's going on, Cliff? I just left you a message. What's really good, man? Hey, I just left you a message, bro. Appreciate it. Hey. Shout out to, like I said, everybody that's really reading and researching and understanding what's going on. Not that I said I know anything, because I don't claim to know shit. But I'm tired of niggas with one follower on Twitter trying to argue me down about some shit, but they won't give me not a book to read. And then the book that they give me, they ain't read. So shout out to them non-coherent, non-educated motherfuckers. Hey, shout out to everybody that's wearing them clown-ass masks, COVID-19. You better go get you something. CMOS, blackandnoble.com. Shout out to Shawnee. Hey. And shout out to everybody that's on that CMOS. And I'm not just taking that shit because it's popular. I've been on the CMOS for a minute. And go get you some Tahuti Ma'ara. Shout out to him as well. I'm about to buy up down there all his vitamins. Hey. And I would. You know, this music got me singing. You know, I got a little song that I might want to sing for y'all. It's off my album. I'm going to put out an album, y'all. It's called Bitch, Where Was You When I Needed You? Hey. And I'm going to just give you a little glimpse of how the song go. Ooh, ho. Bitch, I need you to get my bills. Cause I ain't got time for no thrills, bitch. I want you to pay my car note, yeah, bitch. Cause you know it's past due, bitch. I'm fucking with you, nigga. I'm fucking with y'all. Hey, that's all. That's off my album. Bitch, where was you when I needed you? That shit's coming out soon. I'll be in the studio working on that shit. Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. Let me cut this shit down. Hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, Clifton, man, what's happening with you, bro? Hey, I gotta talk. This is not funny, man. Oh, man, this is fucked up, man. This is fucked up because I was trying not to laugh, but this is how white people view us. Man, it was a white senator. It was a white senator that posted another black man's picture. Posted another black senator's picture talking about RIP to him, and that was the wrong senator because they look alike. This nigga posted that shit. Man, I was dying laughing. I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit of what he was saying. Let's see, cause you know they always be playing commercials and shit. So let's see what they say. Cause you know I can't stand commercials and shit. This ain't NBC. So let's see what they talking about. But yeah, man, the safe black man in America, man. That's why they love John Lewis. It's no diss. I'm about to get on him in a minute. And it's not no diss because I know the man passed away. And a lot of people may not like this podcast, but I'm just saying. It's like the black man that work at your job that ain't trying to do nothing for black folk at all. Not trying to politic at all, but he can make the greatest speeches in the world. That's what I would compare him to. When they always using Martin Luther King. Him, Bernie Sanders, everybody. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
So this is not an episode of V. This is real life. 2 Republican senators joined millions of Americans yesterday in paying tribute to the late civil rights icon, Congressman John Lewis, but both unfortunately used a picture of the wrong person, the wrong congressman.
And with us now, CNN senior media correspondent Brian Stelter, host of Reliable.
Hey, these 2 black people that's talking, they wanted to laugh so bad. Oh, man, they wanted to laugh so bad. Oh, man, what's happening? I think I lost the footage. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Oh, man. That's fucked up if I lost the footage. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Man. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Cause man, they be bullshitting. I'm about to see if I can find it, cause they was laughing. But man, I'm gonna try to find this video. This shit had me dying laughing. Damn. Oh man, that's fucked up. Hold on. Let's see. Sullivan, let me see if I can find it, y'all. I'm looking for the video because I wanna show you just how they view us and how they feel about us, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they think everybody look alike anyway. Oh, now you can't find this shit. See, ain't that about a bitch? Whipped up some fruit and veggies and I'm feeling powerful, brother. Yeah, hey, for sure. Got me a nutrition vitamin extract today. Hey, that's what's up. Repub hilarious. Hey. I'm trying to find this video, Clifton, man. Hey, they bullshitting right now. Because I just had the shit. And now they bullshitting. Let me see if I can find it. Because they motherfuckers... Because the shit is embarrassing, that's why. And they don't want to talk about it. Let's see. That's okay. If not, I'm going to have to type it in. Because all of a sudden... of course, CNN get on my nerves, man. CNN is definitely on some bullshit, but that's okay. I'm gonna find this shit right now. I'm sorry for the delay. Let's see, Dan. There we go. I'm just gonna look it up like that. Thank you. Stop it, nigga. All right, here we go. I found it again. We gonna see what they say. But yeah, man, that's how they think about us. And the reason why they think about it, it doesn't matter how safe you are. See, John Lewis is very safe, but the thing about John Lewis is they just compared him to a whole nother nigga because they don't care. They think you all look alike because they don't care because they know you all safe niggas and ain't gonna do shit.
So this is not an episode of Veep. This is real life. Two Republican senators joined millions of Americans yesterday in paying tribute to the late civil rights icon, Congressman John Lewis, but both unfortunately used a picture of the wrong person, the wrong congressman.
With us now, CNN senior media correspondent Brian Stelter, host of Reliable Sources. Stelter, when I saw this, I saw first Rubio's and I thought, oh, that's bad. And then I saw Sullivan's and I'm thinking, how, 2 senators got this wrong?
2 senators got it wrong.
Yeah, 2 out of 100 senators, both getting this wrong, both within hours, neither learning from the other. What can you say other than this is humiliating for the senators? And I hope that that they and their staffs learn a thing or two from this episode. Here's what Rubio originally posted. Rubio and Sullivan were both honoring the late John Lewis, talking about how inspiring a figure he was, but they both posted a picture of Elijah Cummings. Cummings, of course, passed away last October. He's the last congressman to pass away before Lewis. Now, the 2 men had been mixed up over the years. In fact, Lewis once joked that Cummings was younger than him, so he always took it as a compliment. But all kidding aside, this is embarrassing for both the senators, and they both did follow up and try to correct the record. Rubio later
I see you,
followed up
screwhead.
with
What
an
up?
updated tweet. Sullivan's office apologized for the mix-up.
That's funny. That's funny. See, and the thing about it is I just wanted to play that clip. They think we all look alike. 2 senators, Marco Rubio and Dan Sullivan, both of them, posted the wrong goddamn senator. That's why the title of my thing, that's why I put Senator Elijah Cummings. Hey, I'm Elijah Cummings. I'm not John Lewis, and I hate to do that. But the reason why I did that, man, is because we got to understand, man, it doesn't matter how safe you are. See, now, look, now John Lewis was as safe as they get. But you see what they did to him. They compared him to a whole nother senator. They learned you better triple check before posting. Exactly. Didn't like Nick Cannon's apology. Master P didn't like, hey, that's why you see I put Viacom and Nick Cannon is still in my mentions. We gonna get in that in a minute. Now, if y'all notice, the title of it is Safe Black Man in America. Now, I'm not gonna walk back what I said. I got love for Nick Cannon. I got love for a lot of black celebrities that they try to do their best. But we got to understand this. These are black celebrities that are paid by the dominant society. So you can't expect them to be on some motherfucking Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali went broke damn near for black folk to stand for what he believed in. You know what I mean? They didn't start liking Muhammad Ali until he was docile. And let me tell you how docile he was. He was docile because he had Billy Crystal do the eulogy at his funeral. Not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, nobody from the Nation of Islam. Come on, man. So that's a whole nother thing. You know, but white America loves the safe black Negro. They don't love a motherfucker that's gonna stand for something. It's just like you working at the corporate plantation. Y'all often hear me talk about this. When you at the corporate plantation, you're not gonna be like, yeah, black, no, nigga, because they gonna be like, hey, you can't do that. You need to apologize. We're gonna let you go. You need to make money. Just like Nick Cannon. He had a whole lot of things coming up and a lot of politics involved. I think, in my personal opinion, the relationship that Nick Cannon had with Viacom for so long, I don't think he thought what he said was offensive. I don't think he thought what he was doing was offensive because I think he studied and was doing what he needed to do. Now, I would say maybe if you would have brought Professor Griff on and said, okay, this is where we got this knowledge from, and I would love to bring on white Jewish scholars as well so we can have this dialogue, because we just can't sit up here and say this without bringing someone else on. That's what Malcolm X would do. Malcolm X debated everyone on the main stage, and I think that's what Nick should have probably done. And I'm pretty sure hindsight is 2020, and looking back at it, he probably like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now, the apology, of course, people like Master P is going to be like, yeah, because they tried to fuck over Master P. We'll give you an 85, 15% deal because they didn't think he's going to sell no records. Then they tried to give him $250,000. Then Jimmy Iovine tried to give $1 million. And he was like, if you're trying to give me $1 million, then how much am I really worth? So Master P is homegrown, self-built himself. Everybody can make fun of the tanks and the CDs every week, but that nigga made a whole lot of money off that shit. That's why Jay-Z, the billionaire, moved in silence. He don't say nothing. Exactly. Screwhead, you got it right. Cliff, do you know what it is? Y'all, look, it's time for us to stop placing the responsibility on black celebrities when y'all know they paid by the same system as us, for the most part. If you're working a 9-to-5 job at the corporate plantation, y'all know these motherfuckers can't say certain shit. Y'all know that. I just think it hurt a lot of people's feelings because Nick Cannon was on his consciousness movement and the Dr. Sebi film and all that. But just like everyone else, he's got bills he's got to pay. He's got people that he's got to employ. I'm thinking, I'm going to go on a whim and say they're going to bring Wallin Out back. They're going to hire him back on Viacom. And they're going to, watch. You'll see. Because that's the one thing about the white Jewish community. They want to make money. And a lot of people are not going to be watching Nickelodeon and watching Viacom with no Nick Cannon on there. And I'm not mad at him. I just wish he would have did more thorough research on having Professor Griff on there, standing next to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You should have known that was going to be some repercussions. That's why. Exactly. A lot of people don't know. If you go watch Hove, Jay, on The Breakfast Club in 2013 when Magna Carta Holy Grail came out, he had the God body chain on, the nations of God and earth, the 5%er. He had that chain on. He didn't really want to talk about it, but he had that chain on. He's always talked about being a God body and all that. 5%. That's why he did that album with Jay Electronica that everybody was hating on. Because Nation of Islam, 5%ers is an offshoot of the Nation of Islam. Shout out to Lord Jamar. That's why the Supreme Mathematics, I got that book. I got the other one. I think it's the Supreme Mathematics and the other book that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote. I got a couple of books down there that I got to get to and I got to read. But we have to understand we placing the wrong responsibility on those people. Let's place the responsibility on the people that's in the street. So when motherfuckers screaming out Black Lives Matter and they talking about Trans Lives Matter and all this other shit, that's some bullshit. See, that's the problem. Every time you want to talk about Black Lives Matter and these motherfuckers want to push that moist movement or just push some other shit, which ain't got shit to do with us. We got to realize it's the alligator roll. It's the deflection. It's the white fragility. It's, well, let's talk about something else. That's why when you hear somebody be like, that's anti-Semitic. How's that anti-Semitic saying that the white Jewish community benefited greatly from black labor? That's why they love John Lewis. And that's why they showed you how much they really love John Lewis and how much they really respect him when they would post Marco Rubio, or whatever the fuck his name is, and Dan Sullivan would post Elijah Cummings. Oh, well, they look like, yeah, because you don't really know these people. You don't care. You just post, you just doing what it's on autopilot for y'all. They said they are going to let basketball players wear BML on their jerseys when the season starts, end of this month. That's symbolism. Remember that, screwhead. That's symbolism, bro. That's all symbolism. No. You want to do something for black people? Give more black people the opportunity to buy teams. Why don't you let those basketball players, when they retire, put up enough money so they can buy a team, so they can buy a franchise, so they can be a part of it? Why don't you start putting that in the clauses instead of just, oh, well, you can wear symbolism? That's just like what the Clippers did when Donald Sterling, the Jew, the white Jew, said, fuck these niggas. I give these niggas their lifestyle. Not Magic Johnson, me. I'm the reason why they have nice cars and clothes and houses. Me. I do it. And all they did was wear a shirt and try to protest. I'm like, no, protest would have been like, fuck you, I'm not playing. But of course they're not going to do it because you're accustomed to a lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's why the safe Negro is always the paid Negro. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the safe Negro being the paid Negro. You just got to understand that you can't put that type of trust and faith and responsibility on someone that's being paid by the same system you're basically trying to fight. I'm talking about on a mainstream level. If you're gonna do that, you gotta be like Hov. You gotta kind of move in silence. That's why you look at Beyonce, Hov, they're very calculated on how they do their business, what they talk about, what they say, the type of interviews they do is very, because first of all, when you are a black billionaire, you're allowed to be a black billionaire. Come on, y'all, you should know this already. 2, when you're a black billionaire, there's only so much you can say and so much you can do. And they're not gonna just let you help black people and liberate black people. That's not gonna happen. So you're gonna need foot soldiers, and you're gonna need a lot of people on the ground to help and fight. We want activists to be billionaires and billionaires to be activists, and it doesn't work that way. I feel like LeBron is the leader, and they're gonna follow what he does or say. Exactly. And if you follow LeBron James, he was reciting a lyric from 21 Savage about getting this Jewish money, and they made him apologize. So what does that tell you? None of these people are free. I got to read this book, and I got it. It's called The $40 Million Slave. They are doing the same thing as us. They just have more, they have access to more options than the average person does that works at the corporate plantation. But it's still the corporate plantation for them, because they can't say or do what they want. And they definitely can't be oppositional of the infrastructure that they're getting paid by. You can't. Not out loud anyway. You can be it that way, you know, when you're around your friends or your family, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm just saying, I think we place too much responsibility. That's why John Lewis, no diss, but that should tell you how they feel about John Lewis. They thought he was Elijah Cummings. You know what I mean? Then they trying to walk back. Oh, we apologize. See, these are things that you gotta really, really expect when you're dealing with racism, white supremacy, anti-black racism. And I'm tired of everybody acting like they pick out 1 or 2 safe Negroes, and then what they do is that they create that as the template. That's why you have the Barack Obamas and the Al Sharptons, the Sharptones, and the Reverend Jesse Jacksons, and all that. You have those people are selected, and they're propped in front of you, and the Bakari Sellers and all these people, and then they talk shit about all toxic masculinity and black men and all this other shit. Those are people paid by the dominant society to perpetuate the anti-black racism. If there was no money in politics and there was nothing to get and you weren't getting paid by the dominant society, you wouldn't do that. But you're getting paid to do that. And that's exactly why you look at these politicians like John Lewis. What the fuck has he really done? What has he really done? Y'all tell me. Name me one thing that he's done to move the notch forward for black folk. Has he talked about reparations? He's been a congressman way too long not to even be speaking on. How do you not speak on reparations? But he sure does talk about getting his ass whooped in Selma and walking with Martin Luther King. Isn't that what Bernie Sanders said? He walked with Martin Luther King and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, that's good that you did that. But what did you do to forward the movement for black folk? And it was there's a whole bunch of people around Martin Luther King. And then when he got killed, everybody didn't fuck with him. Because everybody was scared, and I get it. But everybody uses that's like their anchor. Oh, I marched with Martin Luther King. And? Well, Martin Luther King was misinformed because he knew integration. No, that was their ploy. Okay, good. We can create the benign neglect, and we gonna bring a whole bunch of immigrants in here and then give it to the Indian or the Native American and everyone else. Oh, well, we gave it to minorities and people of color, and now you mad talking about, well, where the fuck is the shit for the black folk at? Oh, well, we did that. That's why integration did not work well for black folk. See, more people got to read Black Labor, White Wealth. And we need to practice more powernomics. Like I said, I may not like everything about Puffy, but shout out to Puffy for extending his arm to help out Nick Cannon. And we got to be on our business. And we got to stop labeling certain things, in my personal opinion, like, oh, we a boss, or we this and we that. And sometimes we just got to move in silence. You know, once you get a major following, you got a major people, you got to know how to like kind of navigate through that system. Because no matter how safe you are, I think, in my personal opinion, The safer you are, the more they're not going to respect you. They only respect opponents that are oppositional of their views and stand on that. That's a fact. Now, what happened with Will Smith? We ain't even going to get on that. Jada Pinkett Smith talking about, I felt like you were talking to me, Snoop. And nobody is bringing this bitch to the floor. Like, hey, you was jumping down Snoop Dogg's fucking face on that Red Table Talk. And here you are fucking your son's friend. And you ain't saying shit about that. Now, I can see if you didn't go hard on Will, then I'd be like, go hard on Snoop, then I'd be like, okay, cool. I agree with what you said, but I agree why you were upset. You should have been upset. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of times, man, we take things out of context and we feel like that's our time to go at each other to get ratings, to get likes, to have that likability from the dominant society. That's a fact. And I think a lot of the times we don't want to change that. That's why I was even watching this thing about Jenny Jones, about talk shows and media and how it plays a part. Now she got that dude killed. And then, of course, Warner Brothers, they didn't want to take no blame for it, but you did bring that guy on the job, basically on your talk show, and he didn't know what was going on. And then you kind of egged it on, and that dude ended up killing him. And then they were like, oh, well, that wasn't our fault. But my thing is, you got to look at the whole thing. How you going to have a red table talk and you believing all this, bringing all these people to the table as if you have somehow, been enlightened to the point where you are free from mistakes and you sit from the standpoint of judgment more. You know what I mean? And then here you are, you fucking your son's best friend or your son's friend. And then I don't even like how she did that. I'm gonna say it again. How you gonna say, oh, he was broken when he came to us? And I just needed to feel good. So basically you just wanted to fuck. So it wasn't even about him. It was about you. Stop it with the bullshit, man. And honestly, they probably only together for the last name, the brand that they built together. This Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, they've been together. And that they built together. This Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, they've been together so long. Really, they probably even fuck with each other like that. And that's fine. You could have either put out a statement or not. But when August Alsina put that shit out there, now you got a nigga explain because what he need to lie about. Because he was about to start telling details. That's probably why. But that's what she get, man. That's the problem with black folk. We always want to call each other to the floor, but then when you be like, man, but what you feel about racism, white supremacy? Oh, man, there ain't no racism, man. Black people just need to stop depending on white people to do stuff for them. Oh, so our ancestors building the country for free isn't enough to want repayment of what they did? No, because it's too many safe Negroes like John Lewis who talking about they gonna get in trouble. And we, I got my ass whooped and all this other stuff, and that's not what you want black children to see. No, getting your ass whooped and all that. No, if you want them to look up to somebody, take them to God bodies, take them to the Hebrew Israelites, take them to the Nation of Islam. Matter of fact, just take them to the Nation of Islam. That's what I would suggest, and drop them off with them for a couple of weeks. Drop them off and pick them up, straight up. They'll be men by the time that they done with them, and they'll understand how to fully function in this system of racism and white supremacy, and they're going to be very educated on racism, white supremacy, and anti-black racism. And I suggest everybody go get Message to Millennials by Brother Reza Islam. Go get that book, and I'm not saying go get it and clout chase and act like you get it because, Brother Reza's getting pretty popular. No. Get it and actually read the fucking book. That's the problem. Niggas don't want to read shit. That was the problem I was having on Twitter today. Motherfuckers kept going back and forth with me about this, and I'm a geneticist and all this other stuff. Okay, then give me the books that you read. Oh, well, there is no books on genetics. Okay, that's funny because in the ISIS paper, she's talking about genetic annihilation and how the DNA and the genetics of our melanin is we can make white and black. And the power from our testicles of black men in fear of genetic annihilation for white people, fear of a black planet. Now, why is it Dr. Francis Cress Welsing could talk about it, but you ain't got no books? Then I start naming other books. I'm like, but what about medical apartheid? Henrietta Lacks. They mentioned that in her, how they was studying and how her stem cells is what was healing people all over the world. So you want to tell me that melanin doesn't play a part in that? And then finally I tweeted, so why is it melanated brothers and sisters could stand in the sun and be activated, but white folks need sunscreen? Just like the underworld, vampires. The werewolves could go in the sun, but vampires could not. What do y'all think that is about? That's written from a standpoint of racism, white supremacy. That's why I like watching those underworlds. Straight up. We just don't think it's that way because we just watching the movie. And then when you say that, then a motherfucker was like, oh, well, the Egyptians, they were a mixed race. I said, man, stop it with the bullshit, man. That's dominant society talk. Bro, they were dark, swarthy, black people. Stop it with this, oh, well, they were mixed of, it doesn't, I'm not saying that they weren't mixed with different tribes, whatever, but they were black folk. They weren't European, they weren't mixed with European, they were black folk. If you read the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, you know, it clearly talks about how the Greeks painted the hieroglyphs lighter. They lightened up the hieroglyphs because they wanted to look more European. Come on, man. And that's why I just get tired and irritated of us black folk using the dominant society's talking points. It's just like when you start talking about the white Jewish community and the motherfuckers come out the woodwork talking about, oh, you anti-Semitic. How could I be anti-me? Then another motherfucker was like, well, the Jews were never black. Okay, then what were they then? Oh, well, the Ashkenazi kids aren't Jews. That's a myth. Man, stop. That's not a myth. And that's why I tweeted, why is it when black folks or black scholars write books that are documented history, it's crazy talk, but when white folks write documented history from their perspective, that's a false narrative, it's true to them. But my thing is always this, okay, well, if y'all the real Jews and all this, y'all couldn't be. And that's why Bill Nye, the science guy, had to come on and say, everybody originated from Africa. And shut the shit down. And now white people are gonna be like, Bill Nye, you know, he said it. But why does it take that? Do your research and read. I said, on Twitter, I said, so you mean to tell me that Europeans built the pyramids? Come on, man. Stop. Stop it. Then why is there no pyramids in Europe? And why is it that all your great philosophers were sneaking from Greece to ancient Kemet to study in the mystery schools? So that lovely Pythagoras with his thief stealing self, come on, man. He stole the whole mathematics and then remixed it like he's the great fucking mathematician when really he got it from the ancient Kemetans. Come on, man, stop. But there's more dumb people than there are people that want to search for knowledge and quest to search for the knowledge. And the reason why I say that is because you got so many dumb fucks on fucking Twitter just running their mouth just to go back and forth about nothing. And I was like, man, I'm about to block y'all, man, because y'all just keep, y'all trolling. You got one follower. You're a troll. You're just trying to argue with me to get more followers. Stop. And I don't even have no followers. They took my last Twitter. So that's why I was like, nah, bro, I'm not going to be arguing with y'all, man. Because you're not even making sense. Well, I'm a geneticist. Oh, then where are the books at? Then you ask people to mention. It's so funny how white people always pat themselves on the back about education, all that stuff. And you'd be like, okay, so where'd you get that book from? And they want to talk about some shit that they learned in school. Okay, well, what's the name of the book? And I'm not talking about no European book from your school that's funded by Europeans. I'm talking about an actual book from an author that did documented research, like Anthony Browder, like John Henry Clark, like Dr. Hirwa Fakamene, Dr. Phil Valentine. We talking about actual authors, metaphysicists that went over there and did the research. We're not talking about motherfuckers that's just teaching a class that's been the information been passed down to them from another European. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. That's whack. Stop. I think a lot of the times, too, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of the times we get so caught up in whatever the dominant society says. That's why everybody loved John Lewis. And they loved Elijah Cummings as well. Of course, they're going to love both of them. Why, Warren? Why wouldn't they love both of them? Because they save Negroes. When you save, they're going to love you. And then they're going to laugh at you when you're gone. That's why it was almost laughable that they would post another black man when he died a year ago. That should tell you right there how they really feel. And don't let that shit fool you. I'm telling you. That's why. That's why I kind of laugh. And I kind of laugh at it is because it doesn't surprise me. They'll post a picture of any nigga. Long as it's a nigga that look kind of like the motherfucker that they talking about. That's why they don't give a fuck. That's why. Why care about it? What do you mean why I care about it? Why care about it when it doesn't really concern you? You don't care. He just be another dead nigga anyway that just screamed and hollered, but he didn't really do nothing for black folk. Most black politicians, I wouldn't trust anyway. I would view them just the same as you would view a white politician. That's why I don't really like Bakari Sellers, none of these niggas. Because they not in a position of power to really do anything for black folk. And even when they are put in a position of power, Barack Obama, they ain't gonna do shit. They gonna help every other racial group but us. And they not intended on helping no other racial group negatively the way they've impacted our racial group. Oh, they'll step all over black folk head just to help another racial group. I'm telling you. That's why I kind of it's kind of funny to me because we're still thinking, oh, well, you just got to play it, safe, keep your head down, and you can move up, and you can be the next Barack Obama. Barack Obama ain't say shit. He ain't do shit. And he don't give a fuck about shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people like Roger Stone that will blatantly say, I don't got, I don't want to talk to this Negro or some shit that he said. He didn't give a fuck. Why would he? Why would he? This nigga went to the pen and came back and still had some racist shit to say. You know why? Because they don't give a fuck. They just want the safe Negro. That's it. If you safe, they'll fuck with you. If you're not safe, they're not fucking with you. I'm telling you right now. They're not gonna fuck with you. Let me tell you why they're not gonna fuck with you. Because they know if you're a threat to their infrastructure, then that's a problem because you could be like Jean-Jacques Dessalines. You could be like Nat Turner. You could revive your community. You could breathe breath into the life of the community where they like, wait, fuck that. Nick Cannon saying that shit or woo-woo-whoop saying that. Well, fuck these motherfuckers then. And they don't want that infrastructure being rattled. They don't want nobody shaking the foundation of their infrastructure. So that's why they slapped Nick Cannon down. That's why you notice most congressmen, senators, any black person that's in politics, they got to work extremely hard and be squeaky clean to make it through. While all these white congressmen and senators, they having affairs, they doing black tar heroin before they go out there and make their speeches. What else do you think they doing? They don't give a fuck. It's their system. That's why they don't care. They don't care about making mistakes. Why wouldn't they? It's their system. You got to look at politics just like the corporate plantation. How many times I heard me say it could be a white person that's a bum off the street and they can go shave and shower for that one day and fucking do black tar heroin before the interview and still get hired and be your boss, and you got all these fucking European degrees and they can be your boss and they can be telling you what to do. That's why it's very imperative that black folk, when they get this education, each one teach 21. You don't look down on motherfuckers like, oh, well, I got the education, you don't. For what? Racism is the competition of resources. So it's a team sport, which means you gotta be on call with your people. Whether you agree with Nick Cannon or why. A lot of people didn't agree with Nick Cannon because they got Jewish white friends. That's why. And their Jewish white friends took offense to what he said. But they don't even know why they took offense to it. They just been taught to take offense to it. But they don't even know why. Because when you ask a person, well, what did he say that was anti-Semitic? That he feels like we're the real Jewish people and we're the real Hebrew Israelites? So what's wrong with that? Well, find me a book that states that that's wrong. And then we can get some books and then we can dialogue. But most people don't want to dialogue. They just want to go off what they've been taught, not what they've learned on their own. That's why it's hard to have a conversation with people on Twitter, because I'd be like, bro, where's the books at? You doing all this talking, but what books have you read that's documented? Oh, then they want to, well, so you must believe everything. No, but books give you a better perspective. You go and buy some articles and some shit you read on the internet. Anybody can go research some shit on the internet and be like, well, see, look, to skew it their way. I'm talking about, what have you researched on your own? What have you read? Like the secret relationship between Jews and blacks. That's why motherfuckers be like, well, the Jews, yeah, they did. They participated in the transatlantic slave trade just like a whole bunch of other racial groups. And they benefited from black labor just like everybody else. So I don't understand why we don't want to call them to the floor and make them accountable. I just get irritated when it's my own people and they want to argue with you and, well, the Jews are, the Khazar, that's not real. And I was like, oh my God, stop it, bro. Just stop. And then you showing me a book. Like, don't show nobody no book you ain't read, because then you don't know what's in the book. You're just going by a title of a book. I'm telling you what I actually read, because motherfuckers want to dispute the melanin and like it's not a semi-superconductor, like it's not being traded on the stock market for 750 grams, 750 milligrams, something is what they've been being traded on the stock market. I forgot what the number is, but I know melanin gets traded on the stock market. But we sitting up here wanting to have these conversations with motherfuckers about nonsense. Exactly. You see, Roger Stone was like, man, I don't got time to deal with this Negro. Straight up. That motherfucker Roger Stone was like, man, fuck this motherfucker. I don't got to be bothered with him. At all. And ain't gonna apologize about it either. Why would he? Why would he? Why would he? As he, what did he say to, old boy? What did he say to him? He said, I don't have time for this Negro or some shit. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's see if they play it. Because they be bullshit. I'm very interested to see. But yeah, man. I think a lot of it is research, knowing what's going on, figuring things out, understanding how things work, understanding how racism and white supremacy works. That should be your focus. And not just going with the okie doke and going with what they told you. Just like when they be like, well, the FBI is going to do an investigation. Man, please. The FBI went to go investigate a noose, but they letting white racist cops shoot and kill niggas with impunity, and they ain't doing shit about them. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that. They fired Nick Cannon for words, but they won't fire the police for killing people. So that should tell you exactly how racism and white supremacy works. And don't think that it's ever going to change, because it's not. And where are these so-called allies that so-called got our back? Where are they at? Why they marching, whining, and repeating? Where are they? You know what I mean? Let me see. After a few seconds of silence, Stone can be heard quietly muttering what sounds like, I don't really feel like arguing with this Negro. It's clear if Stone was speaking to someone else in the room with him, the interview was being conducted over the phone, or if he was speaking to himself. Wow. Let's play. Let's see if you play.
As a small business owner, you're reimagining the way you work. From rethinking your
I hate
bandwidth to
that.
reassessing your voice solutions. You're changing the way you do business. And at Cox Business, so are we. Our flexible internet and voice packages give you the solutions you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Get 50 megs of internet and IPC Select for only $89.
See, that's what I'm saying, man.
Did this as an act of compassion. He did it as an act of mercy. I would never have lived to see my appeal heard.
But you're
as
his
you know,
friend,
Mo,
Roger. Come on now. We're longtime friends now since 2019. We know that this is a function of
That's really not your friend when he say I ain't got time to be arguing with this Negro.
your case and your proximity to. Oh, okay.
you're out of your mind.
I don't
You're out of
think
your
so.
mind.
Well, okay. Well, we'll let the listeners decide. Let me go to the next question then.
Whatever.
The next question
Well,
is, Roger,
you're going again. You're going again.
I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, but you keep going in and out. I don't. It's a cell phone issue.
I don't think so. You're not dropping out at all. I'm hearing your voice just fine.
Well, I lose you. There's a lot going on here.
Okay, well, let me just pick this up before the phone drops or for whatever reason. We know that you are going to be, on some level, assisting our president in his reelection bid. Are you about the business of being formally attached to the campaign, or are you just going to be on the periphery?
I don't expect any formal offer, nor do I expect to join the campaign. I will, as a private citizen, I will be active on the president's behalf, writing, speaking, advocating, but I don't expect to be offered a job.
Kelly Show on the line is the Roger.
Which mandates the harsh mandatory penalties for the when Ronald Reagan, the policy, nothing about my public position, to tell me that he had made the decision on a compassionate and insurance fund. Fortunately, 65,000 individual, any client who comes in the door. That's not me. I have worked for candidates and individuals and causes that I believe in, whether it's the legalization of cannabis, whether it's criminal justice reform, whether it is the election of Ronald Reagan, take your pick. But I've always done my best, and I have never quit under extraordinary circumstances. A man is not finished when he's defeated.
We need to focus.
Well, it's hard to find a good tattoo artist who could do a great likeness, but I'm thinking about it because he is one of my personal heroes.
And somehow I believe you because you already have the Nixon tattoo on the back. So Marcus Garvey tattoo on the front would be peak Roger Stone. I think that's fair to say. Roger Stone, before I let you go, one more time, tell people how people can support you and also donate to you.
Oh, see, they try not to play that snippet, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that snippet of him talking about, I don't have time to argue with this Negro. You notice you can't never find that shit, but you can find anything. They was playing Nick shit left and right. Yes, I knew the book was going to show its face. Love it. Yeah. Of course they ain't gonna show it. That's why I'm like, man. I'm telling y'all right now, man. See, a lot of black folks be thinking because motherfuckers are their friends that they don't view them a certain way. Man, don't trust these motherfuckers. Just because these motherfuckers pretend to be your friend don't mean that they ain't calling you nigga when you're not around. And calling you monkey and all kinds of shit. Because they don't give a fuck about you. For real. For real. And don't ever forget it. Hold on. Yeah, see, they don't, you can't find that shit. Nah, you ain't gonna see. Nah, they're not gonna pull it up. I mean, like, they're not gonna have it. They just want to play the whole interview or whatever. But nah, fuck that. We're not gonna play the whole interview. But I can tell you this: you better understand what the fuck is going on. Know what anti-black racism is, and if you're not trying to replace that with a system of justice, you got the game fucked up. I can tell you that right now. Go get some books and read them. It's in the comments. Here, where at? I'm going up the comments right now. Where is that? Check it out. Okay. It's in the comments. All right. Here, let me see. I'm looking for it right now. But I can tell you this. We got to understand history and know why we are where we are today. If you don't understand history, you're not going to know what the fuck is going on. So stop allowing these people to give you the narrative that the dominant society is giving, especially black people. It's so taxing. That's why when you hear black people talk that way, just be like, the dominant society told you that. So that's what they told you. You know what I mean? Because most black people, they just gonna go by what they've been told because they don't want to rock the boat. And that's fine. When you have the core plantation, I get it. You don't want to rock the boat. But a lot of niggas act like that when they're not even at work. You have a simple conversation with them about, hey man, you read The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Oh man, they too pro-black, man. That's just too much, man. Man, what? Did you read the book? Oh, nah, man, I can't get in it. What about the ISIS papers by Doug? Oh, nah, what about black labor? So that's too black too. It's like, golly. And a lot of the times, because a lot of these people, they have so many other type of friends around them, they don't know no better. Oh, I'm gonna definitely check it out. But I've learned this. Like I said, when I was in this beat making crew, one of the dudes that was a part of the crew, he was Jewish. But back then I didn't know nothing. I was lacking of knowledge. I was a baby. But if I ever met him again or we chopped it up again, I'm gonna tell him, your people are responsible for anti-black racism as well. They benefited from the black labor and how we built the country. They benefited, and if it offends them, oh fucking well. And I think a lot of people, in my honest opinion, excuse me, I think a lot of people, in my honest opinion, they'll go with whatever's safe because they want to be liked by the dominant society. They want to be liked by the dominant society. They want to be coddled and pet and get a pet on the head. Very true. Excuse me. There's a lot of niggas out there that's safe. These same niggas that's mad at Nick. I wasn't mad at Nick Cannon. I just wish he would have did more thorough research. I wasn't mad at him. I was more disappointed that you brought Professor Griff on there and then you had to denounce all that. You had to denounce Farrakhan. You had to denounce all this and to make these people feel good. And it's like just to suit their ego when they know what we're saying must have validity. Because if it doesn't have validity, then why are they making such a big deal about it? And it's only with that particular racial group where once you say one thing against their community, they bullies. They jump all over you. But me, if I ever talk to them, I'm just giving them the books that I read. Well, I read that in this book. Give me a book that's anti this book right here. Give me a book that's anti the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. If you give me a book that's anti, I'll read it too. But, like white people believe what white people say, well, I can't believe what black people say, especially when it's to empower my people. See, that's what I'm saying. We like to empower anything a white person say, but then when a black person says, like, nah, nigga, I don't know. You know, I get it. That's why everybody loves motherfucking Tim Wise. But then when you look at all our other black leaders, we don't really praise them like bro, Tim Wise, he go hard. I remember I was always like, yeah, I'm not, the jury's still out. Because you can make them speeches all you want and make money off of it, but what are you really doing to help the black community and move it forward? That's the link to the Roger Stone interview. Okay. Yeah, I've been looking for it and playing it, but I gotta siphon through it. It ain't that big deal. Look, I've already read what he said, and he said basically, I ain't gonna argue with this Negro. Basically, I ain't gonna argue with this nigga. You know what I mean? And a lot of black folk, they be thinking that these people are their friends, and they want to be liked by these people. That's exactly why you see more safe Negroes than people that are, I would say, a threat to the system of racism and white supremacy. You're not gonna see them on TV. You're gonna see the Al Sharptones and the Reverend Jesse Jacksons. I am somebody. And you're gonna see Bakari Sellers and Keisha Lamami Bottoms and Simone Sanders and all these people with people like Bernie Sanders. Oh, I marched with Dr. King. So what do you think about reparations? Yeah, I think you should get reparations. So you don't think no, that shouldn't get a check. But that's why somebody hemmed him up in full court press when they was like, well, why don't you think we should get a check, but you vote for Jewish reparations every year? And that didn't even happen in the United States. That happened in Europe. Why are we taking care of Israel? And that happened in Europe. That didn't happen in the United States. But what has been done to black folk in the United States of America, we built the country. That happened in the United States of America Incorporated on U.S. soil. But we get no reparations? but y'all paying for the white Jewish community to get reparations? And then the Native Americans get reparations? Then you ask fucking Joe Biden, this nigga talking about, well, we gotta give it to the Native Americans too. Well, what about the 1866 treaty? Why are we not talking about that? Go read the Black History Reader, and you'll see your lovely Andrew Jackson and how he was like, fuck that fucking treaty, fuck all that bullshit, and got the goddamn police militia and was basically like, fuck y'all niggas, it's my land. And was killing niggas and do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. But we gotta praise the money that they're on. Stop. And they got a Mount Rushmore. But if you so bring up the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, oh, how dare you? But we gotta look at white people all day long, on TV, on the dollar, in the history books. George Washington, he never told a lie. And that's bullshit. We gotta look at that every single day, but we can't even bring up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Can't even bring up the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Don't you take a picture with him. And they'll treat you like you fucking shot the sheriff. But what do you learn when you're a kid? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, James Madison. You know, all these white supremacists who owned slaves, raped, robbed, pillaged, and just did whatever the fuck they wanted. What was George Washington doing? Taking niggas' teeth out their mouth and making dentures with it? That's the type of shit that they was doing. Let's not get on John Sims and medical apartheid and all the goddamn, he was operating on women not using anesthesia because he felt like that black folks can't feel. They can't feel pain. So just that type of shit. But we can't bring that up. Once we bring that up, oh, you're anti-Semitic. If you bring up anything about, you notice nobody ever brings up Donald Sterling. So what Donald Sterling said, the majority of the Jewish community does not feel that way about black folk. I highly doubt that. Just like the dominant society, they've been feeling this way. I just think black people are just now seeing like, oh my God, they really don't like us. No, they don't like you. Look at the court plantations. Look how they treat you. Look how they treat you when you make one statement. Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson. Just look at how they made everybody. Oh, you said something about the Jewish community? Oh, but we can't say nothing about them and their anti-black racism that they practice every day, all day. Come on, man, stop it. Oh, the 999. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Cool. On Billy Carson shit. For real. I'm about to go check that out. Straight up. I'm about to go check that out. Good looking. Didn't learn they were all Masons. Yeah, they all Masons. Where do you think Masonry came from? Masonry came from black people. That's why when this nigga was trying to tell me about, oh, well, you know, the Egyptians were a mixed race. Nigga, they were black. Whether they were mixed with Kush and they were mixed with Nigeria, it doesn't matter. They were black. And when you say that, I talked about saying, when you use that type of Sambo talk, bro, that's what you're doing is you're creating a false narrative. So the dominant society can come in. Yes, see, they were mixed. So you gotta watch what you put out there. Then he was like, well, what about they were descendants of Ham? I said, well, the curse of Ham, that's more the Mormon faith. Oh, black people had the curse of Ham, they had tails. Oh, well, you're saying, I'm like, oh, y'all just trolling with y'all one follower. Yes, all the founding fathers were Masons. All of them were. Any major religion that was started by somebody, they were Masons. Joseph Smith was a Mason. Scientologist L. Ron Hubbard was a Mason. The person who started Charles Mason, Church of God in Christ, he was a Mason. They all Masons. Catholicism, Mason. There's a book I suggest you go get by Jordan Maxwell. It's called The Matrix of Power. Go get this book. It's a quick read, and it's a very, very good book. Go get this book. It's called Matrix of Power. And it's a very good book, and it breaks down where it came from. That's what I like about Jordan Maxwell. He breaks down, politics. He breaks down the judge, why they wear a black robe. He breaks down all this shit is in this book. All of it. Breaks down Admiralty Maritime Law. It breaks down the dollar. He breaks down the owl. He breaks down everything. Everything. The symbols. All that stuff. Very, very good book. And I'm about to go cop more of Professor Griff's books too, because he's got a book called Symbology, and I want to read that book too. But yeah, he's it talks about the mortarboard on your head when you graduate. You know what I mean? The mortarboard of Freemasonry talks about that. Oh yeah, the mortarboard and how it's all in alignment. That's why I tell people all the time, man, look, dude, this is all, everything was created with masonry and everything was created with black belief systems. That's why they tell you voodoo and voodoo is bad while they fucking practicing it. Jeffrey Epstein. That's why he was able to get away with that shit for so long, because he was practicing voodoo. Oh, I'll just put a spell on you. And I believe he was practicing that shit. Because they'll give you Cesare Borgia, the remixed version of Jesus Christ, the so-called Jesus Christ. So they'll give you Cesare Borgia, and then behind the scenes, they're worshiping Jean-Jacques Dessalines. They're worshiping Mackandal. They're doing voodoo and voodoo. Visiting ancient voodoo priestesses and shit like that. That's what they doing. While you sitting up here praising Cesare Borgia. Yeah, go get that book, The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Very, very good book. Very, very good book. Breaks down a lot of shit. And I would tell y'all, man, start reading and start doing what you need to do, man. Educate yourself. If you're not armed with education, man, you look like a goddamn fool. And I'm not saying try to be the most educated, but what I am saying is while you on this planet, you might as well educate yourself with something. Like right now, I am reading the book about Alessandro de' Medici, the mulatto de' Medici. He was a Italian Moor, basically. So he was black and Italian, so mulatto, mixed. And the Medici family didn't talk about him. And in Italian history, they didn't talk about him. Now, it's documented history, but they didn't talk about him. And a white person went and did the research and was like, why don't y'all have this? Because he's black. And I'm at the point right now where I'm reading a book where him and his cousin, I think it's Ippolito or whatever his name is, he wanted to be the next, basically, reign of power. But Alessandro was more liked by the Pope because he did, as most black folk, he presented himself as safe so he can get to where he needed to be. Now, his cousin, who was full Italian, was just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And they wasn't feeling that shit. But there was already underlying tension because the Borgias, which are Spaniards, already was ruling in fucking Italy, and they weren't even Italian. So it's interesting how they break down how the Medici family, the banking Italian family, was fucking Moorish slaves. And that's how Alessandro de' Medici came about. The bastard that they didn't want to talk about until they needed an heir to a throne. Then they went and put their arm around. Oh, hey, yeah, that bullshit. And from what I read so far, he's kicking everybody's ass and jousting. They couldn't really fuck with him. Yep. Yes, moon worship, Saturn worship. Exactly. That's why when you look at Superman, these comic books, I read this book called Sex Symbols and Stars, and it breaks down, Moses and how the Bible is so contradictory, how in the Bible they're like, oh, that's witchcraft. But then if you read in the Bible, Moses was basically battling the seers. They threw their staff down and turned into a snake, and then Moses threw his staff down, and then his staff turned into a snake and ate their snakes. And it's just like, but then if you think about it, well, that's witchcraft what Moses just practiced. But that's a whole nother subject. Just like you deal with Superman. People think that's an ass, but really it's an upside down triangle, an upside down pyramid with a snake in it. And his real name is Kal-El, which is a Hebrew name. There's all kinds of hidden shit in there. In Hebrew, we black. And you get your power from the sun. You can't be how you gonna be Superman? That's all you know. They made it in their image. How you gonna be Superman with a Hebrew name, but you get your power from the sun? And we already know what happens to most white people when they out in the sun too long. They look just like 46 minus 1, Donald Trump. That's what happens to them. Ancient moon god's name was Sin. Yep. I'm telling you, this book is a good book. It's called Sex Symbols and Stars. And I read the book. It was a very, very good book. It's down there I don't know where it is, but it's down there somewhere. Very, very good book. And it kind of breaks down that shit. And I didn't really get a chance to like delve into it the way I wanted. I just kind of like making my way around because I'm trying to educate myself. There's a lot of good books. Just like Before the Mayflower. It breaks down the percentage of how many people it was and the leaders at that time and how Booker T. Washington was basically a part of the bourgeoisie and the talented 10th with W.E.B. Du Bois. And, and then there's some books I got to read over because I read them too fast. I don't remember. So I got to go back and read them over. But the thing that I'll tell you the most that we need to do is study, know our history, know what the fuck is going on. Stop thinking because you're a safe Negro, you're going to live forever and they're going to respect you forever. You see what they did to John Lewis? They put up a picture of a whole nother nigga who died a year ago. That shows you how they feel about fucking John Lewis. But that's what happens when you safe. That's what happens. That's why I'd be like, well, this shit don't make sense. If the pharaohs were the Egyptians, right? And then the children of Israel, Moses and all that. My thing is, we know good goddamn well wasn't no white folk just walking around 8,000, 9,000 years ago in the wilderness like that without burning up because there wasn't no sunscreen yet. That's why you know a lot of the shit in the Bible, which was wrote by the Council of Nicaea and King James and Lord Buckingham and what's the other brother's name? Not brother, but group of people. William Shakespeare. That whole, they were all remixing the Bible, putting shit in there and taking shit out. Man, come on, man. And that's why you can't just go off that book. You got to do research. You got to understand what's going on. And there's no diss. The Bible should be more of a guide, not more of like, that's what it is. Study from the cradle to the grave. So you should know what a lot of people doing. Ins and outs. Yeah, that's why his name was Kal-El. And his dad's name was Jor-El. Hebrew names. But you gave it away when he got his power from the sun. Once you got, well, nigga, he's black. They just painted him white. How you gonna be white? And we know what happens when white people get in the sun. We already saw that. So, no. We know what it is. I just think that we want to go with whatever the narrative they gave us because it's safe. Look, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Y'all know what it is. I'm going to probably be on like Tuesday or some shit. But hey, man, do the research. Don't go too hard on Nick Cannon because y'all understand how black celebrity work. Don't put your trust and faith in them. Put your trust and faith in you. There's no such thing as a safe black brother. Hey, to them it is. And let me tell you why. Like Corey Holcomb said a long time ago, they don't fuck with Nick because Nick Cannon is safe. See, once Nick Cannon started talking about things that threaten their power infrastructure, that's when they had to slap him down. But other than that, they're only going to put safe black men on TV. They're not going to put nobody that's contrary to their belief system. So that's what I would term it safe. Because you're safe, because you're going to say what they told you to say. You're going to believe what they told you to believe. Or you're going to pretend like you believe it. You know what I mean? And you're not going to be contrarian to it. That's why you look at most corporate plantations, the black person who makes his way to the top of the seat, he's got to be safe. He's got to be like a Bob Johnson or Robert Smith. Or he can't be like a Dame Dash, because Dame Dash ain't going to play that shit. That's just facts. Yes, William Shakespeare, yeah, King James's boyfriend was Lord Buckingham. That's a fact. Exactly. That's why you put in the Bible he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, but King James and Lloyd Buckingham was having their own bullshit going on. That's why it's so much. That's why I want to start learning about Ifa. You know what I mean? And religions before this main Christianity and Islamic faith. I want to learn about other things too. So you just want to have a different perspective. And that's what life is about. And knowing who the saved brothers are. I know you don't say there's no such thing, but to me, I would say the only reason why I view it that way, because that's the only way they're going to be on TV. Don Lemon is on TV because he ain't got no mustache, he's moist, and he's a safe black Negro. If Don Lemon was moist but was talking that anti-black racism shit, he wouldn't be on TV. Straight up, he would not be on TV. I don't care how moist he is. They would not. If he was on TV talking about this anti-black racism in the LGBTQ LMNOP community, they treat black people like shit, and everybody has benefited from the slave trade and black labor, they wouldn't have him on TV. But they got him on TV because he's safe. That's why most of the people you see on TV, Roland Martin, aka Rottweiler Head, that's why he on TV. Because he'll buck his eyes and buck dance and do the stanky leg with Hillary Clinton. But her hero was Margaret Sanger, who had the Negro Project, who wanted to genetically annihilate black folk. Said we needed to be exterminated. We were weeds that needed to be exterminated. But she said that was her hero. Bill Clinton called Sister Soldier. He compared her to the KKK. But this is how they view black folks. We just don't know that because we don't go back and dig like 94 crime bill Joe Biden. Come on, man. The 94 crime bill put over 500,000 people in the prison system. And your boy Barack Obama, who y'all all love, who I don't love, but who y'all all love, who I thought was for us, extended all those things from the 90s. Just go read The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Like I said, man, I'm only talking about books that I've read. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, if you out there cooning and sandboring for the dominant society, guilty nigga, I can't fuck with you. I'm out. I'll see y'all Tuesday. Peace.